Hello and welcome to the PowerSwitch, gaming's call-in talk radio show. My name is Peter Spezia, and this is the E3 Microsoft episode for E3 2017. It is June 11th, 2017. It is 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're coming off right off the heels of that 1 hour, 45-minute conference. It was a monster here, for sure. Joined by Scott White and Greg Montique from DashingNerds.com. Thank you guys for joining me today. Greg, I mean, you called into the EA show yesterday. You were in the area. You decided to join us today here for Microsoft. Really appreciate it.
I liked it so much, I just had to come down.
Just had to get yourself involved. And Scott, you know, we're staying here for the weekend. You're, you know how it works. So, Microsoft, we've got a lot to kind of get through. And for EA yesterday, we had 8 games. It was easy to kind of break down one by one, but there was a lot for Microsoft.
42.
So, yeah, 42 games. Clearly the optimal number, the answer to life, the universe, and everything. Yeah, lots of things to get through. So we'll start right off with Project Scorpio not being called Xbox Scorpio, as some leaks ahead of advance were saying.
Canadian Best Buy, you sly devils.
And they continue to be wrong, it seems. So come on, Canada. Xbox One X. The name that a lot of people, myself included, were kind of leaning towards when we were doing, predictions of things. It seemed to make a lot of sense, and if you think about it, it makes sense from a branding perspective. I think it's still an Xbox One.
Yep.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's an Xbox One, and you had Xbox One S last year. You kind of had that corny XBOX kind of in framing it. That kind of continues. I think that's the right name. Xbox Scorpio would have been an interesting one to live with, but that's the right name. November 7th, the launch date.
Yes.
We're gonna get through things really quickly here. So let's start. Forza Motorsport 7. They brought a Porsche 911 GT2 RS on stage. That's October 3rd.
Pretty racing cars.
Yeah. Metro Exodus 2018.
Rat Punch.
Punching
Rat
rats.
Punching
Rat
rats. Looks good.
Looks really good. We're gonna get more into depth obviously later, but we just gotta. There's so much to get through, so we gotta burn through it here. Assassin's Creed Origins. Interesting they took that away from the Ubisoft stage to show that
loot
first.
now. It's more RPG-ish, it looks like.
Kind of Witcher-like, some people are saying, when they get hands-on gameplay.
Looks fun.
October 27th.
Drive a bird.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Taking PC, going to console exclusive, it sounds like, for now, giving that Hunger Games Battle Royale kind of gameplay. Says exclusive later this year. Deep Rock Galactic. This was the
dwarf
cave
game
mining
co-op
3D Spelunky kind of 4-player gameplay.
Torbjorn's Adventures.
Okay, Torbjorn.
Torbjorn.
Long trailer for State of Decay 2. That is spring 2018. So yeah, good to see that there at least. But a next year kind of game. The Darwin Project. Lots of yelling in the show.
Super exciting newscaster trying to hype up that this could be an esports. Oh, it looks like Battleborn. Oh, do we have another Battleborn? We don't know.
Way too much excitement.
And I still have I wrote no idea.
It's like a arena fighter with heroes. It's like Battleborn. It looks like Battleborn.
Yep.
No one cares.
I mean, it's not as good as Overwatch, so it doesn't work. Minecraft. Big announcement there, uniting the platforms this fall. That's a great announcement.
I'm hoping this starts other games also do it.
Yes.
I was kind of hoping the super duper graphics pack would be more than still cubes, but I guess better
nice
resolution. But yeah, I mean, Nintendo Switch spotted in a Microsoft conference. That's kind of crazy. Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Oh my god!
Yeah, we were hyped.
I love Guilty Gears, so this is super exciting.
That's the game it has to be. Like, all the Budokais, all the Tenkaichis, this is
2D fight, 2.5D fighter.
Now, they got to have a big... I mean, we can talk about it later, but they got to have a big character roster.
It will.
It's going to be key.
It's going to have the Naruto of character rosters.
Black Desert. This is the MMORPG. I think it's from
the Korean MMO.
Korea.
Right.
Crazy good, character creator that was known online for a while. That's coming to console. Okay. The Last Night, kind of this, neon sort of cubist sort of style game.
Pixel art with really good lighting and
beautiful.
Really cool. Very interesting.
Neat character and sort of style to the world there. The Artful Escape coming when he whipped out the guitar. I didn't know what to think.
Still had no idea.
Wow, I did not expect air guitar.
Coming when it's damn well ready, apparently.
Yep.
Code Vein, this is the anime Dark Souls, coming from Bandai Namco, 2018.
I think it was the same announcement trailer that they had previously.
Yeah, we saw it in Japanese.
conference.
Right.
This is localized.
Same trailer, just So it's officially coming to Xbox.
Good to know. It is being localized. Sea of Thieves, interesting little demo there. Early 2018 though. Again,
Supposedly.
it's another slip to 2018. Another vague sort of release window. But we'll talk about that a little more because you said you've been playing some Sea of Thieves, so that's pretty interesting. Steve Gainer's game, Tacoma. Makers have gone home. That's coming August 2nd, sooner than later. That's pretty exciting. Good to see that, and I'll be looking forward to playing that one personally. Let's see here.
Not Conquer.
Not Conquer. Oh, that was such a tease.
That was mean.
You see the red tail pop up, and Lucky's Tale was a launch game on Oculus Rift, and that was like playing a platformer in VR. So you get Super Lucky's Tale here, some added expansion here. I guess the King of Red Lions is a villain now, so that's really weird. But good to see that. That's a November 7th launch game for Xbox One X. Cuphead is finally back with a date, September 29th. I'm excited. You see that old art style pop up. It's like, yes,
okay,
here it is.
And I like how they made in the trailer, they crossed out the never seen before and just said, it's just crossed that out.
Making fun of themselves.
You gotta like that kind of self-referential humor there. Oh gosh, what else? We have Crackdown 3 with Terry Crews. Oh man,
Terry Crews edition.
Great to see there. If you were paying attention on Twitter, about an hour before the show, Crackdown tweeted out like a Terry Crews GIF, and people were like, hey, "Are you doing that?" That's interesting in our rhymeswithasia.com .com/call chat. Matt's pointing out the Doomfist calls because the rumors of Terry Crews should be Doomfist for the next character for Overwatch. Interesting. November 7th for Crackdown 3, so that is a specific release date.
I don't know how I'll choose between that and Super Lucky's Tale.
Me either.
It's gonna be tough.
The Idea Xbox montage, too many games. This is where they kind of flushed out their 42 number. You knew it was coming. Like, there's no way they can put 42 games unless you have a montage. So I like Battle Right. I mean, Battle Right I've heard a lot of good things about. So good to see that coming to console. That's a PC game for a long time. Ashen, the return of Ashen, a game that they showed a couple of years ago in this strange form, and people with no faces,
Amish face,
no fingers either,
and no fingers either.
Mitten hands and Amish face.
One of my more exciting announcements, personally, for the show was Life is Strange: Before the Storm. This is the confirmed prequel. We saw art leak on Imgur before, and this is separate from the Life is Strange sequel that Dontnod is making. This is the Chloe Price and Rachel Amber story, 3-part. First episode starting October 31st.
I thought it was August.
You're right.
Episode 1
is It is August 31st.
August.
I just can't read on my notes here. So yeah, August 31st, even sooner. If it were October 31st, that would be spooky for Halloween. But yeah, 3 episodes. Looking forward to that. That should be kind of filling in the story that was kind of lacking as kind of the backstory in the first Life is Strange game. Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, kind of a...
Shadow of War.
God damn it. Shadow of War. It's the same, right?
It's the same thing.
It's in Mordor. It's in Mordor.
Again, I have war written down. You can't see it, but I just can't read, apparently. This is...
Fake news.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Wrong.
And these
It'll be the best orcs ever.
The orcs are huge.
Best
He
orcs.
was. And it's featuring Bruce from Finding Nemo.
Bruce has reincarnated as
As an orc.
Mm-hmm.
He's no longer a shark.
Some people aren't excited for this game. I'm okay with it. Like I'm not going to be buying it. But
it looks fun.
It's one of these early games to commit. Early on we were saying Project Scorpio going to run best on 4K, etc. So not surprising to see that there. Ori and the Will of the Wisps leaked early. It's
Ori
so
and the
sad.
Deep Depression.
It's so sad. It's
I'm so sad.
But yeah, another Ori game. Makes sense when the definitive edition gets marked down on the store. So we'll see that there. That was another one that leaked early. So I mean, that would have been a cool surprise. But there was talk of an Ori sequel for quite some time. Good to see that there. Phil gets back on stage in his same shirt, that Player One shirt, with original Xbox games.
Exciting.
He brings up Crimson Skies coming later this year. They needed some sort of expansion, and I think that's the way to go. And you got to look at PlayStation on the other side. Like, get your backwards compatibility together. Get it outside of PlayStation now. That service is, I'm sure it's not doing well. It can't be doing well. So you got to get.
I've tried it. I did a trial and it worked great for me. So I mean,
But would you keep paying for it? It's so expensive.
I have a lot of the games. We'll talk later.
We can talk about it.
This isn't a bash Sony stream.
Patches for 4K games, of course. Like that's gonna happen. And then the price confirmed, $4.99.
Yep.
So it is a premium product. I think it makes a lot of sense at $4.99, especially when you're talking about them teraflops.
It couldn't be any more.
Yeah. And then you end the show with Anthem.
Oh
Man, Anthem.
Anthem hype 2018.
Oh my god.
It looks super good.
So bad for
hype.
I feel so bad for Destiny right now.
It's
Now, granted, Destiny 2 comes out later this year, and Anthem is late 2018 at best. It looks pretty exciting. Not gonna lie.
you can go underwater.
You can fly like underwater. You get Iron Man armor and
It's crazy.
there's like Horizon robot dinosaur things and then real monsters.
The real question though is like why? Like, they must have taken a lot to pull that away from EA's conference because man, EA could have used that badly, and to have that go at
really
the end,
badly.
at the end, man, interesting.
Maybe that's why there was a half hour of Star Wars.
Maybe. So no Halo. That's interesting. Obviously, Gears. They're working on the next one.
Yep.
Let's talk about our highlights of the show. Like what stood out?
Games.
I was very impressed. They had a lot of third party out there. It was very impressive, just the sheer amount of games. And it wasn't all shoot,
Yep.
muscle guys. It was
Just
it was
Terry
diverse.
Crews.
It was a lot of fun. Plus, oh my god, the Dragon Ball game looks so good.
Yeah.
Which I know is going to be multi-platform, but the first trailer was here, so it's like, oh, it's going to be so good.
Great to actually see it in motion as opposed to just the screenshots.
Yeah.
That was
You didn't
so
have to
awesome.
wait till tomorrow.
It's true. It's true. I didn't have to wait till tomorrow.
I was really excited to see Assassin's Creed Origins. Like
That looks good.
Yeah.
But I've been burned by Assassin's Creed before.
More than once.
True.
So I'll wait, but it looks like a lot of fun. The taking over your eagle.
Oh yeah, that's a
be
new.
interesting.
That is definitely a new thing, and we were
Eagle
definitely
drone.
we were pointing out the Yondu with the controlling the arrow.
Right.
Yeah, you have arrow mind control.
Yeah.
And a bird.
Because at first I thought it was like, okay, it's just a slow mo effect, but then when it was like moving like up and down, it's like bullshit.
I don't know much about ancient Egypt, but I'm pretty sure physics worked the same back then
Yeah.
too.
How do you think they built the pyramids? Mind control. Aliens.
Oh my god.
I was excited with the amount of exclusives. Microsoft seems to have gotten it together with their "we all want exclusive war," which I am very opposed to. But I like the exclusives.
They definitely had a lot. I'm still very curious. I like the exclusives, but so many of them are also coming out on PC.
Yeah.
So it's like, and that goes back to also the Xbox One X, the XBX argument. It's like, okay, so I have a really good PC that can play all these things. Do I need an Xbox One X?
And all the first party games are the Play Anywhere,
Right.
Where you have both, even the extent of some of the third party. I think that was interesting that seemed to be missing. They kept talking, most powerful console ever. They were putting out shirts that said, I witnessed the most powerful console ever, whatever. But there was no talk of, well, if you have a PC, play it on PC.
Yeah, I'm a console gamer though. I don't play PC. It's nice it's coming out on PC. It's great for the people that are PC gamers. I just won't play on PC. I've been playing on console forever, and the only PC game I play is World of Warcraft.
All the good, like all these exclusives and everything, though, because they're also on PC. It's like there's no reason for PC players to get a console to play.
And I don't think they're trying to.
No, but I think it would be smart for Xbox to try and get.
Yeah, but Microsoft also owns, their PC. So
True.
Right. So, with Xbox One X being 4K, of course, a good PC can also play games in 4K. Let's be real here. Is that a big difference? I know they mentioned those super sampling for the 1080p screens. For those of us that don't have a 4K screen, I have a good gaming PC.
Yeah.
And I have an Xbox One, a launch one to be serviceable. I'm not seeing myself at $4.99 to be like, yep, gotta have it. Now, if my Xbox One, if my launch Xbox One were to break down, tempting. maybe I'd still just go with the more
I would still go with the
option
S, because until I get a 4K TV, I'm not. It's like I don't need that. I don't have a PS4 Pro. I don't see the need for that one either until I have a 4K TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I do have a 4K.
I know you have a very nice. I was there when you picked it up.
I will be buying it.
Okay,
it is my day one purchase.
All right, and you're definitely excited going in. So from that perspective, as someone who had the Scorpio boner, as it were, as you mentioned yesterday, like it lived up to your expectations. I take it. Or?
From what I've seen, I want to see more stuff play on it. I want to see. Okay, so Anthem they said was in-game footage, and so was Assassin's Creed. But I want to see. I just want to see more. Right. Show me everything that's running 4K 60.
And if it is even 4K 60, it might just be 4K 30.
Yeah, I mean, which is still fine, but I need to see more on it. I'm super pumped that it's not a gigantic system.
It's so small.
Yeah, how do we miss that? It's super
smaller
small.
than the S.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
which is the size is incredibly impressive.
Yeah, so you take the S, which is already small, and it looks like it's maybe half the height of it. And it's like when they went from the PS2 to the PS2 Slim, like the size difference.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Any other big games that kind of caught your eye?
Ori looks. I'm excited about Ori. Anthem was fantastic. I think this was a much better. Now that they've had more time to develop it, I think this was a much better Sea of Thieves trailer.
Yeah.
I think it made it look a lot more fun than it did last year.
Sea of Thieves showed much better.
It showed much better.
Metro
with Rat Punch looks.
And the giant bear creature?
I'm definitely anxious to see more of that, because I want to see if it will be a Fallout contender. If it will have kind of the crafting system and everything like that.
Yeah.
Metro is one of those series I've wanted to get into. I just haven't yet.
Yep. And then I want to see what the Artful Escape Trippin' Balls edition actually is.
Someday.
I want to know what it is.
Is that going to be... Do we think that's going to be the next Cuphead?
What is it for 5 years?
Yeah,
we're just here
when
about
it's
now
damn
and
well ready.
Yeah,
oh boy. You know what? I'm surprised we didn't see anything from that. Kind of stole the show last year. Was I'm blanking on the name. The BioShock looking one. The We Happy Few.
That's already
out. It's out.
It was in early access, but they could have given another. I'm just surprised. For the big surprise that it was last year. To say like, well, where is this game now?
Production hell.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Let's get to your scores before we get to our callers here. What are you grading this conference? Shortly thereafter it.
I'm gonna have to go with an A. I thought it was an incredibly strong conference. Nothing about it made me want to go out and buy an Xbox One X. Not like that didn't hit me, but the games they showed were fantastic. Dragon Ball. I know even the non-console exclusives. There are so many. Ori. You have the Crackdown. Looks fantastic. I always love Terry Crews. The announcement of last night, Artful Escape, they had a lot of really cool things that they announced, and they didn't fill the conference with talk.
Yes.
It was very good. The pacing was very well done. It was just game, little talk, game.
Some demos went on a little longer, but otherwise, I loved seeing trailer after
trailer. It was very good, so I have to give it an A. I thought it was a very, very... It was definitely one of the best Xbox trailer conferences I've seen in the past few years.
Yeah. I'm also going to give it an A. I think Phil Spencer has officially righted the ship for the previous Xbox failures, and people said they want games. They got blasted in the face with games. Like Scott said, he was maybe on stage 5 times explaining stuff. So I'm also going to give it an A. Content, great. Just enough talk about the Xbox One X. They didn't kill it, and I'm happy.
Yeah,
leaving it happy.
So I'll be a bit of a contrarian. I'll say an A-, and here's why. The one flaw I found with the show is, yes, you're relying on the third-party partnerships, but your first-party portfolio is still super weak. And I don't know how you don't address that. The 3 games we were looking at going in were, Crackdown 3, State of Decay 2, and Sea of Thieves. 2 of them are still vague launch windows for early 2018.
It is surprising there isn't a big 2017 title. It seems like you'll have Forza.
Yeah.
But there doesn't seem to be that big Microsoft exclusive for the holiday.
I was
That I can
surprised.
think of.
Yeah, no.
I was surprised personally to see no Halo, like not even a little
Not a
tease.
mention.
I think if you ended with that as like the last game they show, I think that would have been a solid way to go out. I love the presentation. I think Microsoft's nailed it the past few years as far as learning what an E3 pacing should be. I think we'll be interested to see how Sony has taken last year and where do they go from there, who have kind of seemed to be the masters of we're coming to play at E3. But Microsoft did an excellent job.
Yeah.
I'm just very concerned for the future of their first-party studios and where those games are at. So that's my only real gripe. But we are curious what you have to say. So when we come back, we will get to the callers. Let us know what you think, and we will also be interested if you have any other opinions compared to what someone else has to say. We'd love to hear that too. That will be when we come back here on the Power Switch. Welcome back to the Power Switch, talking about Microsoft at E3 2017, and that's right, we have our E3 yes or no questions here. Of course, joined by Scott White and Greg Montique from DashingNerds.com. Thank you guys. Yeah, Dashing Nerds. Check out that shirt merch. I need to get something going on that front. But yeah, we had 10 E3 yes or no questions from Microsoft. I want to kind of run through them quickly. Where do we stand right now? Some of them were asked about the conference, and so they can be definitively answered, but some of them we have to maybe wait until the end of E3 to say for sure. So Project Scorpio receives both its final name and its specific release date.
It did.
Yes. Ding, ding, ding. Project Scorpio has a price announced that is under $551 US.
It did.
Ding. Yes. Halo game or remake is revealed. No. Just no Halo. Not at all. 2 of 3 get specific release dates. Crackdown 3, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2. No. Crackdown 3 was specific, but Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2 early 2018 or spring 2018.
Yep.
Racing game specifically titled Forza Motorsport 7 is announced.
Yes.
Yes. A brand new first-party IP is announced. I don't think so, but it doesn't say during the conference, so maybe they get something stealth announced on like a YouTube E3 or Twitch's show. Maybe something gets stealth announced there, but as of now, I'm going to say no. It may take some more research, though. Cuphead or below has a trailer shown. Yes, Cuphead. Yes. Minecraft has its own dedicated segment during the conference. Yes, it does. Yes, it did. Virtual or augmented reality is mentioned. No, not mentioned during the conference. And Phil Spencer changes his shirt during the course of the show. His lowest layered shirt, he did not.
Nope.
That player one shirt
he
stayed
wants to be player
right
one.
there.
He is player one in my heart.
Oh, man crush.
So lots of going through there. Hopefully you did well. We'll tally everything up at the end of E3, and hopefully the winner gets to be able to join us on our post E3 show. But let's get to the callers here. Looking forward to hearing what you think about Microsoft. Joining us from Texas, Jesse, welcome back to the Power Switch.
It's good to be back as usual.
Yes, it is. Thank you for calling in. What did you have on your mind in particular about Microsoft?
Well, I'm going to get to that in just a second. First of all, I want to say, like I said last time, I mainly just come here to watch the shit, and I did see the shit, so I was pretty happy.
It was kind of some good shit, I guess. I mean, we were talking yesterday during EA about kind of the flaws, but it was a pretty solid ship.
It's good because there's minimal talking.
It had goofy, stupid moments like that fucking car. But
Yeah, the shouting guy. The esports guy was kind of unusual. That was awkward. I'll give it that.
But all in all, it was a good conference. Microsoft is continuing to get stronger with their E3 conferences. So my main topic was Xbox is finally starting to embrace stylized graphics in their games. And I mean, I know they've always had some of those out there, but it feels like it's starting to become more focused on now. I have this problem with these games that come out at every E3 that look like an attempt at photorealistic graphics, and I know they're probably more enjoyable when you actually play them, but for me it's always felt like I just couldn't appreciate them. It just felt like I don't see anything drawing me in here.
What are a couple titles that really stand out as far as that sort of stylized look that you like?
I'm seeing stuff like, Cuphead looks gorgeous.
Oh gosh, yeah.
What was the one with the guitar?
That was the Artful Escape.
That looked really cool.
That was rad, yeah.
I wasn't digging it at first, but then it just blew my mind.
Yeah, and then the last night right before it was
Yeah.
the pixel art one.
Yeah, that's neat too. And the Dragon Ball game is just... I never just so badly wanted to play one at this one. Or it looks like the Dragon Ball game that we've been waiting for.
It does look like the perfect
Yeah.
Are
Dragon
you a
Ball
fan
game.
of the Guilty Gear series, Jesse?
I've never actually played them, but I can't imagine I dislike them.
I would definitely highly recommend trying out Guilty Gear Xrd. It's using the same engine that Dragon Ball Fighters is going to be using, done by the same developer. So try that out, and you'll definitely get. I think you'll get a good idea of what you'll be in for. Plus, it's a fantastic fighting game. 2.5D fighter. So.
Right, I'll think about that. I'll look into that.
But yeah, I mean, I even think Crackdown 3 was an interesting one where that one, I got to compare it back to what it looked like a few years ago when it was first announced, talking about the cloud computing. But
Yeah.
it kind of keeps like this cell-shaded look. And so even with something like that, could have done, I think, with more, city destruction, building explosions, things like that. But when you're talking style, I think Crackdown also comes to mind as far as the stylized, maybe cell-shaded look.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the other random little stuff they announced today, none of it, I mean, very, very little of it tried to go photorealistic. Everything went more cartoony or cell-shaded or blocky or...
Which you could easily do when you're talking about all that power.
Yeah, absolutely.
And granted, some of the third parties, I mean, Middle-earth, Shadow of War.
Yeah.
Emphasis on that. Assassin's Creed Origins, like that, trying to go for the photorealism, but that's, third party and partnership and things like that, so...
In the same regard, though, a lot of the more stylized art-styled games are the third parties and not so much the first party. The first party, your Gears of War, your Halo, things like that. Gears of War slightly stylized proportions, but overall still very photorealistic. Your Halo, your things like that. It's usually been the third parties that have really pushed forward the stylized look to it, just because it's cheaper to do more of a stylized look than photorealistic everything. So
when you're talking artistic style, I mean, Ori.
Yeah.
Ori is like drooling of artistic style.
Yeah.
So
they're perfect examples why you don't, and they age so much better than
Yeah.
photorealist when you try and do that. So I'm all for the stylized.
Yeah.
Like, the photorealistic games of the past just look... They've aged so much worse than... say, like, your Wind Wakers and your... Well, pretty much everything that wasn't photorealistic. I will say, though, that one game that was photorealistic that I was completely digging was that Forza trailer. That looked so good to me.
That's Forza, man.
Yeah. It's interesting to see them kind of almost like take the reins of... While Gran Turismo keeps spinning their wheels in
Doing
development,
stuff, I guess.
It's like Forza with releases each and every year, alternating between Motorsport and Horizon. Like I say, grabbing by the car industry by the balls. I mean,
now with Project Cars and stuff coming around too, Gran Turismo is being left in the literal left in the dust.
Yeah, and it's not even going to be a numbered installment with sport. To have my brother's a big fan of cars and all that, and Porsche's his favorite car make. But to see a car reveal at a video game conference, it's like, whoa! Like that really shows you like the kind of emphasis there. So yeah, it excels at both. And Forza was one that they were showing back in the Project Scorpio days. They were saying like, well, here's the Forza engine in 4K running on Scorpio tech. So we knew that was going to look gorgeous. So yeah, that was really impressive. But yeah, Microsoft is starting to really, I think, flesh out, games. Like you can't say Xbox One doesn't have any games anymore. As I said, first party, I think we can worry a little bit. For now, there's still, I'm sure, games in development, but really relying on third parties this year, and so that'll be interesting to compare and contrast when Sony has their worldwide studio palette, tomorrow.
Considering the theme of today's conference, I'm surprised they didn't change the spelling of exclusive to drop the E.
Exclusive with extra power. It is extreme.
Unfortunately, a lot of people are stupid, and they would just immediately assume those are all Xbox or Xbox One X exclusives.
Yeah.
If they wanted to worry about that, they wouldn't have called it the Xbox One X.
Did you hear the Ubisoft guy who was like Xbone X?
Oh, it
kind
will
of like
never
stumbling over the words. Oh boy, that'd be
We'll
great.
never
I'm
die.
gonna call it the Xbonics.
Xbox.
Like Bionicle, almost a little bit.
I don't know.
Oh boy.
Or no, it's like the Rock Snake Pokemon.
Oh yeah, Onyx. Well, Jesse, thank you so much for calling in. Really appreciate the time. Anything you'd like to plug in particular before you go?
Nah, nothing new today, so I'm pretty chill today.
All right. Well, sounds good. Thank you for calling in, and have a great rest of your E3.
You too. See you then.
Joining us from New Jersey, Matt. Welcome back to the PowerSwitch.
Hey, hey.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Microsoft today. What do you have in mind?
So, 2 years ago, when the PC gaming show first started, there was exactly one interesting thing that happened. Phil Spencer came onto the PC gaming show and said that Microsoft is committed to providing games not only for Xbox but also for their Windows platform. Mm-hmm. And as someone who primarily, aside from Nintendo, likes gaming on PC, favoring it over Xbox or PlayStation, that was a very interesting thing to me. And I was very skeptical of it as well. But seeing the conference today and seeing pretty much every exclusive promised to be both Xbox and Windows 10, and that is kind of like the promise that Phil Spencer made 2 years ago is coming true. And every single one of their big franchises, except for Halo, has its next game coming to PC. And Halo, that's okay because the new trilogy is terrible. So,
and it hasn't been announced yet.
Yes. So although that happening, it's really cool seeing that the PC gaming Windows has a first-party developer now, because there was no developer that we could look to for a long time and say they are the PC developer.
Yeah.
We had that a long time ago with Valve, but it must be stressed that was a long time ago because Valve doesn't.
The galaxy far, far away.
Valve doesn't make games anymore.
They've been working on Half-Life 3.
Whatever.
You want to believe.
Regarding 3, they allegedly have 3 VR games in development.
That'll never be released.
We'll see if they're just like experiences. Like how game are they actually like?
Yeah. So with this conference, I feel very good about their commitment to PC gaming now, and I'm very excited to see these big games, these big franchises that I've kind of missed out on in the past, coming to the Windows platform. And I think that it's good for Microsoft to have taken advantage of that because it is still their platform one way or another. They still have a lot to gain from it. Yeah. And I think it's great that if you like Microsoft games, there are 2 options for you. There are their consoles, and then there is PC. If you simply like consoles and you just like having a console better than having to think about putting a PC together, then you have the Xbox. If you are a PC gamer and you are 100% into having your own system that you built yourself and works great with the way you want it to, you still have those games, and they'll be the same as your console friends are playing, even if you can't necessarily play with them, which I don't know if that's a hurdle we'll ever cross. But it's really, really good to see that is coming to fruition.
Yeah, it's a specialized, personalized approach in that for sure. But I think as a result, it's going to struggle, at least on the external front, of decreased appearing sales for Xbox, perhaps. When you have everyone going to PlayStation, if they choose that brand, let's say, everyone's going to PlayStation 4, and that is exactly where you can play PlayStation games. Now, maybe Microsoft can look at the business and say, well, we sell great units on PC and Xbox combined, but if you just look at the Xbox console sales, like that may seem like a comparison and the difference there. But then
I would say it's no coincidence that Microsoft stopped reporting sales of the Xbox One a couple years ago. Of course.
Yeah, they don't want to keep showing that they're second fiddle.
Behind.
But that's going to be interesting when people make those comparisons, and it fuels the console war. And I haven't seen the Twitter reaction yet, like how people are really taking the $4.99 price point. But yeah, that all goes back to the marketing and is there a real need for Xbox One X, or is it just the narrow focus of the 4K TV people, the people who are hardcore into games, who want the biggest and best no matter what, they care about graphics but don't want to worry about a PC, that just want the consistency in consoles. Don't have to worry about updating drivers, things like that.
I think it even goes as far as to even the people with just a laptop and they're not PC gamers, but I'm excited to see how many of these will be announced as Play Anywhere titles, where I can play on my Xbox, and then if I'm at someone's house or I'm out at a Starbucks somewhere and I have my laptop with me, I can continue my game.
Yeah.
So it's not just them making stuff for Xbox and it also being on PC, it's them connecting the two.
Right.
Does the Xbox Anywhere program, does that work with physical copies too, or just digital?
I think it's just through the Windows Store, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so digital.
it's been digital so far. So if you download the game, you also get the code for it for the Windows Store, and then you download both, and your files go across.
So
your saves are all cloud
you don't
stored.
get like a card or something if you get physical or something.
Not that I've seen so far.
Okay.
They could do it though.
Good. So Matt, I take it then, with a PC then, does the Scorpio, are you, I'm not necessarily saying interested in buying it because you seem pretty set with PC, but where do you think, Scorpio, Xbox One X, gotta get used to that change, on price and all that, like where do you think it's standing in the market?
I see people saying that it's 500 next to the PlayStation 4's, the PS4 Pro's. What was it, 400 now?
I think so, yeah.
400 or 450.
400.
Which I think is an unfair comparison because
It is.
Sony has 2 platforms in the PS4 and the PS4 Pro, whereas Microsoft has 3 with the Xbox One, Xbox One S, and Xbox One X.
Well, I don't think they sell the original Xbox One anymore.
Yeah.
Do they not?
I think they phased that out.
I think it's
in
just
favor of
Xbox
S, yeah.
One S now.
Okay, well, I would say they have a leg up on Sony then, because now their base model, which is still the original, low end price, is at a higher point than Sony's baseline, which is again, it's same price. So I would say that they're in an advantageous position.
Yeah, there's no competition for the X right now, and it'll be interesting to see. I mean,
it's going to be interesting to see how they try and market the X and its features compared to PlayStation 4 Pros to the holiday market, the families or whatever that are looking to buy the system.
Yeah.
Because to general person or a mom or dad going in looking for a system, they'll see, okay, we have a 4K TV. Which system should we buy? Okay, so the Xbox One has 6 teraflops and all this with the memory and everything. That won't really make sense to
matter, yeah.
a
I don't
common
think that's
consumer.
what they're going for though.
No, I'm just talking about for the holiday. How will they market it?
Yeah.
To the common consumer,
Yeah.
both the
all that
PlayStation
for marketing,
4 Pro
all-
and the Xbox One does 4K, and it's better systems and things like that. If you start throwing teraflops and megabytes and RAM and all these, I think you'll turn off. Even though I completely agree that the Xbox One X is superior in tech specs and everything like that, I'm curious to see if at the holiday season, to the average consumer looking to go and buy a new system for their kid and they have a 4K TV, will they only see the price?
And I think it doesn't matter at that point because you have the S to say holiday bundle for $200,
Yep. Yeah.
works on a 4K TV, plays all the games just fine.
Does 4K Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
the Xbox One S does have baseline parity with the PS4 Pro, which is something that I think anyone that says like they're making a poor move with the price isn't looking at. It's not Xbox One X versus PS4 Pro. It's Xbox One S versus PS4 Pro, and that is a big point of favor that Microsoft has.
Yeah, true.
It's to their advantage.
It'll be very interesting to see like how that actually plays out, like how many people actually get on board for Scorpio, and there's talk of development accelerating in the next several years very quickly, and like how quickly do we get to that breaking point? Like, can the competition catch up with Sony? And then where does Nintendo? Does Nintendo just hold flat with a Switch and just
They're their own
bank on the portability there for what they have to do? So it does make for a very interesting gaming industry for sure.
Yeah.
But it's when you see those two boxes that first start going more PC like, we can kind of see it, see where the trend was going for sure.
Yeah.
And I hope it works out for them too, because the industry is better when we have strong
story.
competition.
Oh, absolutely.
True story.
No one should be looking at Microsoft, especially Sony fans. No one should be looking at Microsoft and saying that I hope this goes poorly, because when competition is better for consumers.
Yeah, but they always will.
They always will. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to
The
see.
war will never stop raging.
See those fanboy wars online, I'm sure, over the next few days. Well, Matt, thank you so much for your insight and for calling in. Anything you'd like to plug in particular today?
I never have anything to plug. I always make up something at the last second.
Keep playing Overwatch.
Yeah, it's still the double XP weekend.
There you go. Well, we appreciate the time and have a great rest of your E3.
Thank you. You too.
Joining us from North Carolina, Damon. Welcome back to the PowerSwitch.
I feel welcome. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. What would you like to talk about today with Microsoft at E3 2017?
I'd like to talk about, first off, before I get going, I did like the conference. I might lowball it with you guys' grades and give it about a B+, but it was very enjoyable for me. But I would like to talk about Microsoft's exclusives, quote-unquote, versus exclusives. I mean, quite frankly, there were quite a few of them, but the exclusives they showed off were either available on PC, which can be problematic if you're kind of a hardcore gamer, you know, and you play on console and PC. You know, if that's what you do, there's no reason to get an Xbox, like One or X, gonna give it to you. Because you could just go PS4, PC, and Switch, I suppose, and have all of gaming. But on the flip side, I was really hoping we get like a big sort of first party, but if not first party, then third party, like, you know, dedicated sort of single player exclusive type game. Like, I wanted to see Xbox's rival to Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like, you know, over on PS4 they have Horizon, which don't get me wrong, it's a great game. I super jealous because I don't have a PS4 that I'm not able to play that game. But one day. But,
I'll tell you, I'm playing it right now. It's
Horizon's
awesome.
fantastic.
It's so good.
Horizon's fantastic.
Yeah. I believe you guys. But Xbox doesn't have such a game. Like, it doesn't have its own sort of big, exclusive single-player experience. As Phil Spencer calls them, all of their exclusives were quote-unquote service games. And I guess maybe, I don't know if this is the general session, but for me, you know, that's really what's going to draw me in. Like, that's what will make this conference an A for me. Something like that.
Yeah, definitely. It's the big argument when they're talking about Windows 10 and, you know, blending that into all of their devices, and Microsoft worried about losing money from the video games division, so they're kind of trying to consolidate everything. Like, that is the big argument, and it's why I haven't seen the need personally to upgrade from a launch Xbox One. It's because, yeah, I know I have PC. If I really wanted to, I have that, and then I'm not so worried on the spec front on console that it's like, if it's at 30 frames, like, I'm gonna, you know, have a big problem with that. So that is the
I'm
big.
missing a frame.
Oh no!
Oh no!
It's running at 29 instead of 30.
False advertising.
Yeah, so I'm not too worried about things like that, but yeah, that is the big marketing hurdle, and I wonder, you know, over the next few days at E3, because, you know, it's E3 is really about, you know, as much as we love the conferences and everything, and that's our take on it, you know, E3 for the industry is journalists going there and talking to executives and developers and trying games, and you're getting that perspective. So when people are talking to Phil Spencer, bring up the question of, you know, Xbox One X versus PC. I mean, where do you want to go? And he'll give some answer that it's like, well, as long as they're playing games on a Microsoft platform, you know, we'll be happy just fine with that. You know, so I really wonder what, you know, the you know, the not PR speak is, like the real talk with that. That is really interesting to think about.
I mean, I guess Microsoft could, like, say, of course, publicly, so when you play on PC or Xbox, or on the Xbox family, quote unquote, you know, we're just glad you're playing games. But I don't know. I feel like you're spending a lot of money on Bone X. So you really want people purchasing that. You're going to lose money if people don't. But the thing is, who do you sell it to? You sell it to the casual game? I don't know how you do that.
No, this is a premium product. This is not for casual.
Yeah. You sell it to someone who already has an Xbox? I don't see how you do that.
Yes,
There's no
You sell it to someone who recently got a 4K TV, has a launch Xbox One,
and cares a lot about games,
and wants a new toy for his 4K TV.
Yeah.
I guess that's the primary group that you look for, but I feel like that's relatively limited. I'm quite happy with my Xbox One S, and I don't have a 4K TV, and no intention of buying one anytime soon. So I don't see how this would serve my needs, or how, if you have a PS4, you're probably like a Sony head all the way. But how do you convince them to come to your side? It's just, I feel like they're, like you said, you're marketing towards people that, probably have an early Xbox and now have a 4K TV and really want to pull out the power of that thing and have the money to upgrade to a new toy, as you said. But that's not a ton of people in the world. Even if I fit most of those categories, $500 is a lot for me. So
definitely, for sure. I think it is a niche market that they're kind of targeting. It's more because they announced the Scorpio alongside the S last year. So I think this project or Xbox One X targets the people that knew there was a stronger or a bigger system, more powerful system coming out this year. Did not upgrade to a Xbox One S. Maybe they didn't have a 4K TV at the time. Getting one this year, and are jumping from more the original Xbox One to the X as opposed to an S to an X.
Yeah.
So it is. I do think it's a very small market.
Yeah, and I'll also be interested to see how they incorporate their if they try to incorporate VR as a selling point eventually.
They have to. I mean, with something that powerful, they've got to.
Because right now you look at the S and you look at the X and you say, well, this one does 4K gaming, but I don't have a 4K TV, so I mean, I'm not going to go spend the money. I might just go from my old console to an S, maybe. Yeah. But if as soon as they go, oh well, here is our VR unit with our controls, and look at what you can play on the X that you can't do on the S. I think that's going to become a larger selling point to people that want to do virtual reality and don't have the means to do it.
For sure, that is very interesting. Yeah, and I like what Microsoft is doing, kind of trying to diversify their Xbox One platform and give those kind of tiered options.
The options, right.
But I wonder what it's like for developers. And it's always the hurdle of, like, you have PlayStation, you have Xbox, to kind of optimize their game for both of those. Well, now you have a couple Xboxes and you have a couple PlayStations.
Yeah.
And when you keep adding the SKUs, it complicates the job, and I wonder how much of a hurdle that is for devs.
And you'll only hear from the devs that like it.
Yeah.
Because I've heard quite a few devs that are like, we love the Scorpio at the time, but you're not going to hear from the devs that are like, oh my god, this is a development nightmare.
It's hell, yeah.
Yeah. And the patches to add the 4K functionality and everything for the Xbox One X, that's all well and good, but I know there's been issues, at least on the Sony platform, with patches breaking games and things like that. So Xbox has to be very careful with those, that they don't run into the same issues.
Yeah.
I feel like development is going to have to kind of like fundamentally shift, like, it's sort of like gears at this point. No pun intended. Because the most efficient thing to do at this point is probably going to like develop it for like a maximum setting PC.
Yeah, and then dial it down.
Downgrade it from there. And that's gonna hurt some smaller developers, because you just might not have the manpower to do that all the time.
At the same time, though, that's where you get a lot of your stylized games from.
Yeah.
The smaller developers that can't do the super photorealistic with Frostbite or Unreal or things, they make your highly stylized games like the Digger game
or the night last night.
Right. The 2D stuff. That's where you get a lot of those developers with Unity and things like that.
Where their art is real simple, but they can go crazy with lighting, and they can go crazy with
resolution,
with
exactly.
effects.
Easy to go up to 4K.
Yeah. Right.
And you know what? I completely agree. That I didn't think about that just now, but now that you say that, now I'm like kind of really excited because I appreciate those sort of stylized, not 8 million pixels per pixel,
right? 80,000 polygon character face models. And
yeah. I liked it when Laura Croft had 6 polygons on her face.
I liked it when her boobs were triangle pyramids.
Poke your eye out, kid.
Man, those were the days.
Oh man, I can't wait to eventually see the next Tomb Raider game. Thinking about that, it all comes full circle. I think Xbox One X is something to be excited about for the future of the industry.
Excited.
Excited. It's so extreme.
So many puns.
And it's gonna give it to you, but it's not for everyone. It's I guess it's good to kind of mark that point in the sand. Like here's where we're going. Join us on the journey.
Need this.
Yeah, but it's there. It's an option.
It'll tempt you from the store shelves.
Oh, absolutely.
But you want this though.
Yep.
Very much want this.
Oh yes. Well, let's not kid ourselves. We all want it, but can we put the money down?
It's like it's $500 still. It's like there's still a lot of convincing you have to do to yourself.
Yeah.
It's like,
do I want Xbox or do I want electricity?
like, do I want to eat tomorrow?
Yeah, exactly. Ramen noodle diet so you can get your Xbox.
yeah.
Damon knows where it's at.
Man up.
Well, Damon, thank you so much for calling in. Anything you'd like to plug in particular?
No. I'm not super cool out in the real world.
Living in the...
Well, we appreciate you calling in. Have a great rest of your E3,
Yes.
and have a good one.
Enjoy.
You too, man. Thank you very much.
All right, everyone. Thank you for calling in. Before we go here, and we got some dashing nerds here.
Yeah.
Greg, while we have you here, you mentioned during the Microsoft conference, and we have those reactions, and we had our pre-show stuff over at facebook.com/dashing nerds if you want to catch the action there. So that was very fun and a lot of really interesting feedback. But you mentioned during the Sea of Thieves segment that you are playing the alpha. You've been playing the alpha.
I have been playing the alpha.
So I want to ask you, what are your experiences with that, and what did you see here?
What I saw here to what the actual alpha has been is completely night and day. The alpha, I've done a lot of adventure. You start off, they put you on a 4-person crew like they show in the trailers, and you go check the map, and you've got a map, and you figure out where you're going, you get there, and you find the treasure, and go back and bring it back. Kind of like what they showed in the trailer a little bit. But the actual alpha's was very vanilla. There weren't a lot of features. I couldn't upgrade my person. But it still gave me the sense of it's got a lot of potential, and I think what they showed in the trailer today is where it's headed is very much where it should be headed. Different ways to find treasures, different dungeons, different enemies. As to where in the alpha it's been 1 or 2 different enemies, and it's been you're on an island and you get there and you dig and you find it. There's no caves, there's no underwater exploration.
No sharks.
The last iteration they did have a shark, although he didn't try and kill me. So I'm guessing he's a friendly shark.
Maybe he's a happy shark.
Yes, he was bruised. But it's between there and what I've played, it looks completely night and day, and it gets me real excited for the future demonstrations. But I think you can still sign up for the Sea of Thieves Insider program. Okay. So if you're not in the alpha yet, just Google Sea of Thieves Insider. It took me 2 months to get in before they sent me my invite.
Go check that out for sure if you're interested. Because I know early on when they first showed it, it's just like I don't know. But this one had a good humor to it, kind of Simon Pegg like.
Yeah.
The announcer was good, or the commentator.
I was a better commentator than the
YouTube guy.
Darwin Project, and the YouTube guy as well. But this presentation got me a little more interested in it, and so I think it did a better job here.
And I think it's really it's making me happy because Rare, it was such a amazing studio. And then Microsoft shackled them and made them work on Kinect Sports for what seemed like 25 years.
The dark ages.
And now they're back and they're making a beautiful pirate MMO, and I was happy to see customizable ships because I want customizable ships, and I was happy to see more than 4 items on the scrolly wheel. I'm looking forward to it, and I've been playing it. It's good, and with that makes it look even better.
That's great to hear. I wanted to kind of get your thoughts while we have you here.
Yeah.
But yeah, both Scott and Greg, dashingnerds.com, anything you guys like to plug before we, call it a day and
Greg,
get ready for prepping for Bethesda tonight?
Have anything to plug?
Just our website, dashingnerds.com, facebook.com/dashingnerds, at dashingnerds on Twitter. We've got Twitch, we've got YouTube videos. Time Hops Season 1 is on YouTube. So check it out.
And we can find you on Twitter
at Bringing the Wing. I do hockey analysis and meme generation, basically.
Right. That's awesome. Well, thank you for joining us here today.
Thanks
really,
for having
really
us.
appreciate that.
For the part one, we'll be back on Dashing Nerds or Facebook.com/Dashing Nerds in 4 hours.
Oh my god!
For the Bethesda conference at midnight Eastern. Followed by being right back here after for another one of these.
Yeah, if you want to stay up for that, all the more power to you. That's pretty awesome. I'm going to start editing this podcast, though, so we'll see you tonight. Very, very late.
We'll see you very late. Actually, early tomorrow morning.
There you go.
We'll see you in the morning.
All right, but thank you for tuning in for this Microsoft podcast. A lot of fun and a lot to talk about, and I'm sure even for the days to come. So, with that, for Scott White and Greg Montique, I am Peter Spezia. For next time, switch up, call in, game on.